thank you again for watching the second video in a series of videos all about the PBV Individualized Learning Plan. This particular video will look at the overall design of the learning plan. And again, as we're getting into this, a reminder, everything we're talking about is available here at the PBV-ILP 2019 link. It is a bit.ly. You can type that in and join along with us. We are, again, the website's included instructions that we talked about already in the last video. And going forward, we'll look at a sample, we'll look at the timeline. But today is all about the structure, the design of this plan. So with that, we'll hop right in. We're going to use these slides. And as we're going through a few of the slides, just a reminder, you could always come back here. We encourage you to do that and ask questions. We'll start including those questions down here. You can see we will have the videos and then the questions all kind of in the same place. So the information is readily available and we're able to answer questions in an efficient manner. So we're going to hop right into this learning plan, and I'll hop over to the slides. I'm going to back up a bit. We're going to talk design and the overall design so that you kind of remember from the last time we talked. If you haven't watched the first video, please watch the introduction. It'll help you with where we're headed. Today we're going to look at the plan itself. The previous video looked at the basic instructions because that's important to know before we look at the plan itself. In future videos, we'll look at a sample and then really get detailed in some of the definitions. Today we'll talk to an overview of the actual plan itself. So here is the plan. You'll see section A, personal information. You'll see section B, self-reflection, and then we have section C, goals, actions, and expectations. So before we get too far into this, I want to take just a second and speak to the purpose again, because as we start filling out this particular process within Google Docs, it's important to remember that it's really an ongoing journey. When you look at areas of professional growth or strength, or what's my goal for the year, it's not about having necessarily a perfect answer. It's about really just reflecting on where am I at right now, and what am I really kind of passionate about going into next year? What do I want to take a little step forward in my own journey and improve upon? So that's kind of the big picture. We've got a real big window of time for which you're able to do that. So it's not meant to be rushed, and it's definitely meant to be efficient, as we talked about in the last video. So basic information, you would type in first and last name, the grade levels or department, site, your program administrator, maybe it's your principal at a school site, and then with self-reflection, areas of professional strength and areas of professional growth or interest. So on the strength side, a little easier. That might be what I'm feeling confident about right now. What have I spent a lot of time on maybe in the last couple of years focusing in on? It might be core curriculum, might be a technology that you've been learning about, or a behavioral structure you're implementing within your classroom. It might be something having to do with data and your grade level team or your department team. You may list a few of those. It's not a journal. This is only meant to be 2, 3, 4 sentences about just a concise look at what you feel right now, pretty confident about in your professional journey as it impacts students in the classroom. And then for professional growth, what is that focus that I want to have next year? What do I really want to invest some time in? It may be your whole grade level, your department team, or it may be school-wide. We're all going to really focus on this one thing. So you may list a few of those here. Again, not a long journal, just a few, 3, 4, or 5 sentences, whatever it takes. What are those? What's that area, or maybe 2 that I'm really interested in looking at next year to grow, just to improve upon in some small way. So the bigger section that we'll spend a little time on is the goals, the actions, and the expectations, section C. So depending on the timeline of when you turn this back in, you're going to want to take a look at what is that one goal I have, and that's a broad statement. So it may have to do with my pedagogical practices, specifically with mathematics. It may be focused more on ELD strategies, or maybe on my use of data and common formative assessments. It could be a lot of different things, but it's probably more broad. In contrast, your actions, and you're only going to be able to speak to your actions plan. Actions taken would be at the end of the year as you start accomplishing some of these actions. So actions plan might be a conference that you plan to attend. It might be work that you plan to do with your academic coach. It might be observing a teacher. It might be a co-plan, co-teach ideas. As a grade level or department team, you may have particular action or strategies or skills that you guys have planned to do. And those would be in the actions planned area. So taking a PBVU course might be one of your actions. But again, you don't have to attend PBVU to accomplish your goal. It's just another option you might have. The notes section you see there is an ad based on feedback already. And so the reason for notes is there was some interest to say, this is my goal, but here's what I've already done in the past. And so it's not a required area, but if you feel like you need to put in a few things about, things I've done already in this, with this goal in the past couple of years, and this is why, it's my goal this year, you may include that there. And then finally, with the plan, with each goal, what's the expected impact if you were to accomplish that goal this year? So it might be, these are the skills that I plan to improve upon this year, and I think it's going to improve my effectiveness in lesson design or in teaching mathematical concepts or practices, or incorporating ELD strategies into my lessons, or my classroom management routine is going to improve. And overall, obviously, we're talking about helping our kiddos improve academically, social, emotionally as whole children. So that's an overview of the basic plan. In the next videos, we'll look at samples, we'll look at a timeline and many other things. But if you have any questions about this, I'll go back now to the main page. Please come back to this page here, the bit.ly PBV-ILP 2019, and then down at the bottom, you'll see we've got the click to ask questions. And that's where you drop us a question, and we'll start including it in our frequently asked questions. And we look forward to continuing this conversation together. And again, if there's anything we can do to help, please let us know about it. Ask us a question. Thank you for watching video 2. Hopefully you'll join us again.